Hi, my name is Kay Sutha. I am a business strategist and I will be your host. In this podcast, I'll be getting raw, real, and relentless whilst interviewing successful entrepreneurs from all over the world who specialize in different aspects of business. We will cover the 5 main pillars of business, which are sales, marketing, finance, operations, and leadership, but not forgetting mindset, live and digital events, plus much, much more. You will gain insights, tips and tricks, and discover jaw-dropping actionable steps that you will be able to put in place for your business right away. Guys, I have amazing guests for you here today. Now, they took a leap of faith and decided to make their marriage, guess what, a business partnership as well. They're authors of 7 best-selling business books and have spoken on stages all over the United States. They've dedicated themselves to give clients the personal, customized attention that was lacking in the marketplace. It drove them to create the coaching program that they wish they had for themselves. Kevin Harrington, that's right, guys, Kevin Harrington of Shark Tank says that Sharyn and Hank Yuloff are devoted business coaches. Their clients trust them and know that they'll pay close attention to seeing and correcting what is most in need of fixing. Please welcome America's #1 coaching team for small businesses, Sharyn and Hank. Guys, welcome to
Oh my God, did you hear the cloud of the crowd as well? No! It's like the best intro we've had in forever. I expect your studio audience to start screaming. It's cool.
I'm glad that you love that. Now, guys, I've already had a brief chat with you with the pre-screening. And what you guys were telling me, oh my goodness, was so amazing. It was something that I was looking for. And I'm like, if I'm looking for this, then there's going to be so many other people that need to know about it. And I had to have you on this show, right? And what you guys do is different to what a lot of people out there are offering, right? And because of that, first of all, I'd love for you to let our audience know, what do you do? How did you transition, right? And what were you doing before you even started up this business?
Okay, there were 3 questions there. Why don't you do the first one? What do we do? And I'll do the second one.
So we are small business coaches. We work with small businesses. That's all, just small business. So for us, that means a solopreneur up to 40 or 50 employees, but really most of our clients are solo to 10 employees. Okay. Small businesses, we work with them on their marketing, their sales, human resources, and back office systems.
Yeah, we're the easy button. We hold their hands. We walk them through stuff. We do a lot of stuff for them. So that's what we do.
You keep them accountable is what I'm hearing.
We do.
every call, yes. During every call, Sharyn takes notes. And this is with our private coaching clients and even in our group coaching client group. Sharyn takes notes. And when somebody says they're going to do something, there's a little star and a little box.
Ooh,
we come back to it the next call. It's like, you said you're going to get that blog done. We haven't seen it. How's that going?
Right.
Yeah.
And so
kind of like mom, clean your room.
And tell me this. So is this something that you decided that you're going to, you knew you were going to do this off, right from the beginning, or what were you doing before this transition happened?
Yeah. So, the company started 25 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And if you fast forward to 11 years ago, that's when Sharyn joined. But I was working as one of the 14 regional managers for a national company here in the U.S. And it was regional manager time, meeting time in November in Minnesota. Great time to be in Minnesota. And our national sales manager just quit. So all 14 of us are in a room waiting for the owner to come in, and we're all saying, okay, who's our new boss? Mm-hmm. And about 7 of us were going to go for it.
Right.
So a couple minutes later, door opens, boss walks in, followed by his son who had joined the company about 3 months ago and was working in accounting. And he said, I want to introduce you guys to your new national sales manager. And we all looked at the door. Like, we're waiting for someone to walk in. And then we realized it's Junior. Okay, interesting. So, no sales background, lovely gentleman, but
Right.
no sales background. Now you fast forward to Thanksgiving here in the States.
Couple weeks later.
Right.
And our family was one of those that goes around the table. What are you thankful for? Sharyn and I are sitting there. My sister's finished, passes on to me. And I'm talking about, I got this woman. It's awesome. Marriage, great, love. And I'm passing it on. And my mom says, wait a minute, Henry. Now, when mom uses Henry instead of Hank.
Right.
Yeah. How's work going? So I got to share that story. And mom said, well, what would it take for you to just start your own company? Mm-hmm. And being a little glib now, and going back 25 years, I had to say, well, I know how the industry works. I have a lot of clients. Honestly, Mom, I'd have to buy a new fax machine because this one's owned by the company. And she looked at my dad and said, write him a check.
Right.
So the company was begun because my mom told me to. Hey, always do it. Look, lesson one, do what mom tells you. Mom's always right. And mom had an entrepreneurial spark. She always had the side gig. She was a special ed teacher, but she sold jewelry on the side. She had handbags. I mean, mom was a side gig person
before the term side gig was there.
So what was amazing was that as I started contacting my clients and letting them know I had started my own company, mm-hmm. the universal answer was, what took you so long? Oh. And this is one of the first lessons I learned. And I said, well, why didn't you tell me that I should? And I said, you weren't ready.
Wow.
So when you're ready and you're willing to take the leap, your mentors will show up. And a lot of my clients became mentors. Wow. They were the ones that were holding me accountable. And interestingly, and for those of you that are thinking of starting a business the same way that I did, you work for somebody else and now you're going on your own. I lost none, not one client. They all stuck around.
Wow. Most clients, if you leave a company and you go start your own gig, most clients, they don't really care what the name of the company is, right? They're buying from you. Yeah. So just like a realtor, right? We don't care what company they're associated with. We're buying from that realtor.
Or Mary last year. We right. November of 19, we were speaking at a chamber of commerce. We were talking about social media and a lady hung out afterwards. She said, I have a couple questions. To shorten the story, she worked for somebody else. She had run their business for 30 years. She's in a printing business. And she said, I'm thinking of doing this on my own. Told her that story. And over the next couple of months, oddly enough, it was in November as well. Over the next couple of months, we had a couple of calls with her. And then she launched her business January of 2020. Perfect time to start a business, if you think about it. A printing business for COVID starting. And then she hired us as her business coaches, and we're still coaching her. She ended the year profitably. But the same thing, she would call customers, and most of the answer was, I thought you owned the other company anyway. I was coming to that company because of you. You handled everything. So now Mary the Printer, marytheprinter.com, we'll give a client a plug. She's running a really successful printing company, but she had to take that leap as well.
Yeah.
Right.
And to finish the question you asked us, fast forward 11 years or, to 11 years ago, my business morphed into more coaching than it was a promotional product company. And then there was a need. I had a client that needed HR help. Sharyn had 20 years in the HR, in an HR background. So we decided to take a leap. We thought we'd try it. The rule number one was the relationship first, business second. Mm-hmm. And it just seemed to work. Awesome. And here we are 11 years later, loving life and getting to, what's really cool. For those of you that have a partner, at the end of the day, you both come home and it was, how was your day? And you each get to unload.
Right.
We don't have that conversation anymore because I heard Sharyn cursing the entire day at the computer. So I know how her day went.
And vice versa.
And vice versa. So that, you
Oh,
know, it just, we're just sitting down at dinner and
wow.
petting.
That is an incredible journey. And it's funny because I hear a lot of the time couples don't want to work with each other because they feel like that's going to be a strain on their marriage, right? But you guys have found a system, a way to make it work for both of you and not let it get in the way of your marriage.
Correct.
Right? So that's amazing there, because not a lot of people can do that. So that's
I think they think they can't. It doesn't mean they actually can't.
Right.
And it comes down to how badly do you want it, right? It's true for anything in business. How badly do you want it? We wanted it badly enough that we were willing to take the leap. We had that rule, like Hank said, relationship first. If there was an issue and it was straining the relationship, then I go find a job. The relationship's more important than that we work together. But we wanted it badly enough to at least take the leap and test it. Right. And the same thing is true for really any endeavor that you have. How badly do you want it, and are you willing to take the leap to test it?
Right, got it. Okay, I like that. And so it's a lot of sitting down, talking about it, reflecting how this is going to work, how we're not going to let that get in the way, and then putting steps into place, I guess.
Well, if again at the beginning, my rule is, okay, sweetie, I know you. She has run large companies' offices.
Right.
Her last gig, she was the HR manager for a company that had several hundred people, that reported to her department. So she knows things, right?
Yeah.
My only thought was, okay, sweetie, I've been running the business for like 14 years. Do me a favor, before you change something, run it past me, because I'm sure you're going to have ideas and I can't wait to hear them.
So it's the languaging that you use as well, right?
Yeah,
of course.
Look, it's and a lot of it was just respect. I respect her completely. Our comment most often is, if you weren't here and I was going to make this decision on my own, this is what I would do. And okay, fine, run with it. And you do have to have some mutual respect, understanding. Thankfully, I'm married way up, like way up. My mom called Sharyn, the daughter she never had, and I had a sister. So, yeah.
So, okay.
So I definitely lucked out in the in-law.
Yeah. So there you go. I don't share that story. I've never shared that story on a podcast before. Not if it was being recorded anyway.
Now, I would like to jump into the next question. You did mention something very quickly earlier, that you guys are basically a push button to get people's marketing unstuck. What does that mean?
It's the easy button. We ripped something off from Staples. They had that thing in their marketing, plus the easy button.
Do you have Staples in the UK?
No, we do.
Okay, well, there you go. We are indeed what they do. We use their slogan. Now they're going to come after us. Great, thanks. Look, a lot of our clients, they have blinders, and we all have blinders for our own businesses. That's why Sharyn and I have a coach. Because we'll look at something. It's like, all right, I need
an outside point of view.
Exactly.
It's perspective, right?
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
And that's what we do for our clients. We'll look at their stuff and say, okay, have you thought of this, and because we've done this with so many businesses,
right?
And sometimes they do. We all humans, we complicate things.
Oh my God.
Sometimes they don't need to be that complicated, and we can go, wait, you put up roadblocks that don't need to be there. Look, it's really simple, actually. Just do this.
Right.
And some of this is just simple stuff. Yes. Brand new client this year, he sells Medicare insurance. Really sweetheart of a man. He's not as energetic on camera as you are.
Right.
And we're talking about his blog, and you're supposed to have a video that goes with the blog so that those people that like to learn, from video, they have an option, right?
Yes.
So we're talking about setting a video, and our comment was, write down 3 or 4 bullet points, put it on a Post-it note, and stick it up next to your camera.
Okay.
So you can just talk to your clients. And he sent us a video. He was really just reading the blog. It's like, he said, I downloaded this teleprompter. And it's like, why are you making this hard for yourself? just talk to your audience.
You're just having a conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, and it's not his fault, left on his own, that's probably what he did. Thankfully, he has coaches who we checked his video, and this is what we do for our clients. We check their stuff.
Wow.
And there's an easy way to do this. Let's not make it too hard.
I love that. So you guys, you simplify things for people, right?
Yeah. Well, remember, system stands, putting a system together. System stands for save yourself some time, energy, and money.
I've never heard of that. I love that. I'm so taking that, Hank. I love it. Awesome.
I'm here. I'm going to say I didn't make that up. I got that from a mentor years ago. So Casey, if you're watching this, that's for you, brother. And I don't know where he got it, but that's what it means.
Oh, I love that. I love it. Now tell me this. What really qualifies you guys as an expert? I know you've been doing this a long time, but does that mean you went to college, uni? Do you guys have qualifications in this? Is that really needed?
Well, we did go to college, but there isn't, at least that we saw when we were college students.
Yeah.
There wasn't a degree in business coaching.
Right. I have degrees in public relations, advertising, and economics.
And mine's in child development and nonprofit management.
Which works great for me, child development, perfect. But her master's in nonprofit management. So yeah, we have that part. But to share a quick story, when I was in college, I was working for my college newspaper, selling advertising, and businesses who had put their entire life savings into their business were now relying on me to deliver college students to their door to buy their products and services.
Right.
And I realized, guys, I'm 20. I'm just starting this. And I found out I was pretty good at it, putting programs together for them that would get people in their door.
Okay.
So yeah, by now we've worked with thousands of small business owners. And again, we never use that phrase. We work with small to medium-sized businesses, that cliche.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We don't use it. And I realized I said it once at a Chamber of Commerce breakfast. I said, wait a minute. We were driving home. I said, we don't work with medium-sized. We're small business coaches. Let's hang out in our niche. We teach our clients niche down.
Yes.
And we weren't doing it. I was like, wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
Well, coach yourself. One of the reasons we're really qualified is that we are out there building a business. We are still out there using all of the tactics, all of the social media, direct mail, online, webs. We're doing all that.
You're doing what you preach.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if we don't do it,
that's important.
And if it's something if we tell a client to do something that we don't do, we do tell them.
We don't do that but you should because.
Okay, because every business is different.
Yeah, and we set them up in a position to succeed, going through, here are the possibilities with it. Yeah. And we set them up to succeed by going through it with them. And we go through the testing of it with them. Because when you try a new thing, let's say you're going to run ads on a social media platform. And I'm not going to say a platform because they're not sponsors of your show paying advertising dollars. So let's say you're going to run ads on one of those platforms. Mm-hmm. You're going to test it. You're going to test 2 different headlines. Right. You're going to test 2 different offers. And we're going to see how it works. And that's part of the systematizing of what you do in your marketing.
Right. It's about test, tracking, and tweaking.
Yes.
Exactly. Oh, I like that. I'm going to write that down. Test, tracking.
You can take that. You can take it.
The 3 T's: test, track,
and tweak.
And then there's a fourth T, and then you tweet out your results.
Oh.
You tweet your success. So now it's the 4 T's.
Awesome. Now, are you guys able to teach a principle to our audience today that they can relate to and immediately apply in the business?
Sure. Sharyn?
Here's what came to my mind first. The basics of what we teach to every small business owner is know who your audience is. Who are you talking to? And actually name that person. So we hear a lot of market speak about avatar.
Yeah.
Hate the word.
We named our avatar Harriet, but you should name your avatar. Who's your ideal client? Who's your most profitable client? And actually have a picture in mind or even on your screen of who that actual person is. If Kay is your ideal client and you want more Kays in your business, then when you are crafting a message, whether that's a blog or a video or a social media post, then have Kay's image in front of you and create it so that you're talking directly to Kay, not the 150,000 Ks you wish were there, but the 1 K that's actually right there at that moment.
And let me expand on that a little. You might have more than one. We have 6 different Harriets.
Why is that? Why would you not just have one?
Well, because it may be a small business owner that's 50-ish, that's one. Maybe there's a new business owner, right? It's still a small business owner, but now they're new. So that's a different one. It's slightly different, but we're going to craft
could be partners
one
in a business.
Right. Because we are partners. We do tend to work with a lot that have partners. So each message, each social media post, each blog post might be targeted to a different one. So one might be Kay and one might be John and one might be Jane, but we still make sure that the one message to the one ideal client, not one to all 6.
And going back to the test
track and tweak.
Track. I didn't finish writing the word. Test, track, tweak, and tweet. We ran some ads on, again, a platform that doesn't advertise with you, so we won't say who they are. And we got some really interesting results as far as who was clicking through. And it was unexpected. So all of a sudden we realized, wow, we do have a different Harriet. That's a new Harriet. We didn't realize that she was there. Because again, it happened to be a female one. Not all of our avatars are female.
But it's still named Harriet.
Well, no, they all have different names. The first one was named Harriet. It was a promotional product avatar. She's 45 to 60 years old. Her job is that she's the right-hand person of the man that owns the company. It's always worked that way. I met her 8 times in my career. Her
very profitable 8.
Yeah. College educated, self-designates as Christian, although one was Jewish, averages 2.5 kids, and the vacations revolve around the grandkids. So the demographics are, when I meet somebody, woman, she's in that age range, I find out what she does. It's like, let's dig deeper. Right. And if she fits it, I know that if her company is using promotional products, I know exactly how to serve her. I know what she's going to need. I know what questions she's going to ask. I know what our conversations are going to be like, really brief. So as you form a picture of your Harriets, it allows you to serve them better and allows them to recognize you faster as someone that will serve them.
It's also easier to get referrals because, for example, it's a lot harder if you tell me that if we're on this one-to-one, right, we just met, and I say, who's a good referral for you? And you tell me, well, anyone that needs financial services. I don't know how to figure that out when I'm networking and you're not there.
Right.
But if you tell me, like Hank did, right, a woman that's this age group and this is what she does right now, when I'm networking and you're not there, it's a lot easier to go, I think that is Hank's Harriet. I should go see if that's a good referral.
Before we started, and we had a great conversation, everybody, before we started, y'all, you need to be on Kay's show for the conversation that happens before. I'm telling you, you will have the most enjoyable time. Ask her about the shed. So you told us about a particular type of nonprofit that you want to get involved with. Well, that paints a picture for us so that we can look in our Rolodex, what nonprofits fit what you're looking for.
I don't even know if the audience knows what a Rolodex is.
Yeah, we can look in our electronic database. I don't even know what happened to my last Rolodex.
It's probably the box of the
It
garage.
probably is.
Okay, so I've got a question in regards to really narrowing down, your avatar. What are the 5, maybe the main things that we need to look at? Do we need to look at what gender they are, what age they are, what location? What is the top 5?
Yes, about gender. But here's the thing. Often when we ask our clients, right, the gender, they say, oh, it's 50-50. We go, yeah, you wish it was 50-50, but probably not really. Like we don't care, right? Do we care if our client is male or female? We don't care. But we
love you all.
We do find that we seem to more naturally attract more women than men.
Just when Gary and Eduardo, I know they're going to be so pissed at you for saying that.
But the same is probably true for you guys as well. If you look at your database, it's probably not really 50-50. You probably do attract one gender more than the
look
other.
at this. When Sharyn had a job, Sharyn got a really cool bonus from her bosses because she's amazing at what she does.
Right.
And Sharyn decided she wanted a car. She goes, I want a new car. So we went shopping for a car. Now, we're sitting there, salesperson's talking to us. He's asking me questions. And I said, wait a minute, you need to understand something. She's writing the check.
Yeah.
So don't ask me what I need in the car. She's going to be driving it. And the checkbook is in her wallet. I mean, I'm telling him how to sell us.
Right.
He went right back to asking me questions. And I looked at Sharyn, I go,
wow.
Are you feeling served?
No.
And she goes, no. I said, see ya. We got up and walked out. It's like, look, we might have both been there, but the person that was writing the check was her.
Right.
It was her bonus. She was the one he should have been respecting. So, and it pissed me off to no end. It's like, you son of a. So we went somewhere else, and I basically started out. I say, I'm here for the ride. Talk to her.
Right. Do you know what?
And the same thing if somebody's selling something for us at our house, Sharon's most likely going to make first contact.
Right. And I've got a really funny story I've got to tell you guys about.
We'll be the judge of that.
Audience. Right. But I've traveled a lot. I've been here, there, everywhere. I was doing live events, and I remember I went to one airport, checked in, went to throw my luggage on the conveyor belt and all that stuff. And I was saying to her, could I get an aisle seat? I prefer to have an aisle seat. And she goes to me, oh yeah, we have an aisle seat, but it's in this row. We have loads of leg room, right? What people don't see on a digital platform is I'm 4'11". I don't need leg room. Right?
So when you have an inside on a trip, you can stand up underneath the carry-on, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so can Sharyn. It's awesome.
It's awesome.
Right?
Pisses me off. It's awesome.
And she kept going on, and I was like, no, I don't need leg room. Like, my legs already swing on the normal chair, right?
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, and I was like, oh my goodness, come on, like you can see that the counter is like up to there on me already, right?
I'm peeking over the counter, right? And now I'm on my tiptoes.
Right, and you want to try and sell me the roll with leg room. That doesn't work, right? So you definitely need to know your audience. Is never going to work otherwise, right? But I had to share that story with you.
Wow, she should have looked at you and said, oh my gosh, the one person on the plane who doesn't care about leg room. Can I stick you in aisle 17? 3 people have passed up on it. She should have given you an upgrade and, would you like some extra peanuts?
Right? Oh my goodness. So, oh gosh. So guys, I would.
You're right. That was a funny story. You can tell it again.
You know what? I would love it actually if you could give our audience today, and I know you've already given a couple of examples, but some success stories that you've had with your clients.
Oh, easy one. We happen to work with a bunch of nonprofits. We have one client. Oh, we can give her a plug, Angie's House. Every time we work with a client at the beginning of the year, we spend a day with them, and we work on what's our strategy for this year. So we finished the first year with Angie, and we were going into the second year, and we had been talking to her about a couple of changes, and she'd been a little reluctant during the year because it's a leap.
Right.
Sitting there, I said, all right, here it is. Let's make this one little change, and we're going to test it for a quarter and then a half, and we can always change back. That year, she made profit an extra $40,000 from one little change, and
nobody noticed.
Nobody, she thought she was going to get such pushback, not even a question. No one during the entire year. She made $40,000 profit. So it's just, we look at that simple sort of things. That's what, again, the blinders we take away. Another client, she runs a financial planning firm, doubled her business in a year. And that was in a year that she and her partner were splitting. He was retiring and she was taking over. So there's lots of them. Heck, go to our website, yuloffcreative.com. There are about 100 different video testimonials. Would love to, there's a ton of them there.
The only other one I thought of that you didn't mention was we have a client that he used to be a house painter, but he really wanted to be a magician.
Yes.
And he was transitioning, and he said, I really want, it's a transition, right? So as more magic comes into play, less painting, and he wanted the painting to go away. And he wanted our house to be the last house that he painted before he retired from painting and became a magician. And that was 2 summers ago.
Yep. Go look at Glendolph's magic and watch some of it. Or if you want to see some of it, we have a bunch of his tricks. He's awesome. He's really spectacular.
He's now our company's official magician.
Yes. Here's a tip. Every company should have an official magician.
Why?
Well, when we do in-person events.
Yeah.
All right. So here's a tip. It's going to be a 3-level tip. We think that if you are a coach or present a service, speaking in public is an awesome way of generating revenue. Okay. Right. If you do a day-long event, this is tip number 2. The hour after lunch break is the time where you have to get everybody's attention again, because they're back from lunch and they're, you've worked at a bunch of events, right?
Yeah.
So the booking and getting a speaker to speak right after lunch is like the hardest spot, because it's death for people that sell from stage. Yeah. We love that. We love that spot, by the way. Can't tell you why, just we really enjoy it. Okay. Anyway.
But so does Glenn.
Yeah, Glenn loves it. So when we come back in our day-long events, our events, we're the only speakers. We don't make it a pitch fest the entire day, but we ask Glenn to come and do some magic right after lunch. And that way, a lot of business owners get to see what he does for businesses.
Yes.
And if you have an official company magician, you can fill that spot. Easily. And Glendolph is amazing. Oh, yeah. So there were 2 tips in one.
He also has quite the knack for being able to take your marketing message and weave it into his magic. So it's part of the business repertoire.
Yeah. So there you go. Wow, we've plugged a whole bunch of clients. We're gonna have to tag them all when we do this. Hey, we plugged your tail. We plugged you. You better watch this.
He sounds amazing. I'll definitely go and check him out. And guys, if you're listening, awesome. You definitely have to go onto the website, check it out, check out the testimonials. But before we go, I do have one last question to ask you. Now, at this point, people are probably thinking, oh my goodness, how do I get hold of Sharyn and Hank? Right? And
just call. No. We always pick up the phone, like always. Yeah. All right. Tell you what. We'll give you guys 3 things. How's that? I'm going to give you 3 free things. You mentioned earlier that we've written 7 books that all hit bestseller. The 2 of them, the Marketing Checklist 2, came out on our 25th wedding anniversary.
Oh.
Partners in Everything, which is your couple's guide to running a successful business without ruining your life.
Right.
This just came out on our 30th wedding anniversary in July.
Oh,
So if you send us an email, really simple, info@Yuloff Creative, and say you have to tell us you heard us on Forbidden Content Uncensored Society. It's in the upper left-hand corner of your
that's
screen.
right. Yeah.
If you tell us that you're a regular listener to Kay, you love Kay, you've got to say something nice about Kay. We'll send you both books.
Ooh.
Right? But you have to mention Kay, and you have to say something nice about it.
Okay.
That's one. Two, if you'd like, if you want to learn a system, if you need 30 minutes of our time, if you want to know how to get there faster, really simple, go to howtogettherefaster.com. There's a couple of questions and you get put into our calendar.
They're really easy. Like
what's your name?
What's your email address?
Right.
Really simple.
Awesome.
And the third, we do a small business breakthrough boot camp a couple of times a year.
Okay.
And because of COVID, we made a pivot in our business. We don't do them in person all the time. Sometimes we do a virtual version. If you would like a free seat to come to our virtual one, you can go to planyourmarketing.com and you can sign up for a free virtual one. We do them every 6 months. So depending on when you're watching this, you might have to wait a little while.
Right.
So, but if you're watching live, wait, we're not live, are we? We're just recording. Yeah, if you're watching this, you're going to go to the next one. It's pretty simple.
Are you serious? You're actually going to give people a free seat to your virtual event?
Well, let's talk about marketing for a second.
Okay.
The people we've watched your stuff since we met you.
Yeah.
Your target audience are sharp entrepreneurs.
Yep.
One of our favorite, people to work with. It makes sense for us to give things to your audience because we kind of share an audience. If they're watching Kay, you have a desire to build your business.
Yeah.
Because Kay's content is spectacular.
Aww,
right?
guys.
So keep watching all her stuff. If you happen upon this one, and this is the first episode, make sure you go back to uncensoredsociety.com and watch her other episodes. Kay is going to bring you great content. She's amazing.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you so much, guys. Oh my God, it was such a pleasure having you here. Guys, if you're listening to this, if you're watching this, all the links, emails, everything that Hank, Sharyn have mentioned in this episode will be down below in the show notes. Make sure you scroll down and check it out.
She even has show notes.
Of course.
Not every podcast has show notes.
Really? Interesting. But people don't always catch this, right? And sometimes people need to read stuff and see what's going on. So
here's a marketing thing. Let's not put the email part in there. So only the people that are watching, not the, so if they kicked out early, only those people that stuck around till the end get the book.
All right, deal. We'll do.
You guys are special. If you hung out, you're special.
Wow, that is amazing. Okay, we'll definitely do that then, guys. So yeah, if you haven't watched,
that's test, track, tweak, and tweet. We're gonna test and try.
Perfect, awesome. Sharyn, Hank, amazing to have you here. So many golden nuggets. I appreciate you coming onto my show and sharing your knowledge and your expertise. Oh my God, so many people are going to get so much out of this. Again, thank you for coming onto the show.
Thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for your time and listening to Uncensored Society podcast. All resources mentioned throughout the episode will be added to the show notes and you'll be able to find them at the bottom as you scroll down. Don't forget to go ahead and subscribe and leave a review in iTunes. Thank you once again.